Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Jocular Spectalkular. I am Walter Melling, in a solo episode today. And in this episode, we're talking about time. Time's very important. Time's our most precious resource. Time is ever fleeting. The clock's always running out, man. Entropy, universal heat death. We're gonna reach a point when every possible chemical reaction happens in the universe and all energy just stops. Heat death. The clock is ticking. Time is running out, and what time we have is very precious. And right now we're playing Drawn to Death, the new PS4 exclusive arena shooter, free to play, from the Bartlett Jones Supernatural Detective Agency, lead designer David Jaffe. The reason I want to talk about time today is that, man, I've been spending a lot of time in the lobbies here, but that's not, the game's fault. Timing. 11 p.m. on a Sunday night is who's looking to play a game at 11 p.m. on a Sunday night? People are trying to get to sleep on them so they could go to work on Monday, Like the old Garfield it up, I hate Mondays. But another thing with time is that David Jaffe, co-creator of Twisted Metal, creator of God of War, David Jaffe's been in my life a long time. My oldest friend, I met him in 2nd grade, and David Jaffe has been in my life longer than that. Since the original Twisted Metal, playing that on PS1, going over to my brother's friend's house and playing that, because we didn't have a PS1 at the time. But since that time, Twisted Metal 2, Twisted Metal Black, God of War, Twisted Metal Reboot. I didn't play Calling All of Cars, but whatever. Dave Jaffe has never let me down. Except for, well, I wouldn't say never. I was a little disappointed that I couldn't just play any car in the 2012 Twisted Metal game. You had to unlock cars, but it's just changing with the times. The times, they are changing. You best learn how to unlock or you'll sink like a stone. Just how shooters are these days. You gotta have a progression system, so you have that meta to keep people hooked in, because God forbid the game's fun in and of itself and people want to play because it's fun. That's a whole different thing. Playing this game is kind of like a time machine for me. The whole aesthetic thing is that it's all taking place in the notebook of an angsty teenager. Everything is just his sketches and doodles, characters he's come up with, and I like the look of it. I still draw in ballpoint pen. I know I should upgrade to a tablet or something, but I still draw in ballpoint pen, and it looks good to me, that little scratchiness that it gets. Personally, I think the characters look hideous, but it makes sense aesthetically, because that's the kind of characters this kid is drawing. That's what's going on in this kid's imagination. It's not what I draw, but it's what he would draw, so it makes sense. It all gels together very well. Here we go, starting the match.
But they're gonna get me, and I promise you, I will.
Yeah. Whole angsty teenager thing, man. I'm almost 30 now, so the whole thing's kind of funny to me, because it doesn't connect with me at all anymore. It makes me think of The State, which was a 90s sketch comedy show starring some of my favorite guys. Michael Showalter, Michael Ian Black, David Wayne. But there was this recurring character named Doug, and his old catchphrase was, "I'm Doug, and I'm out of here." And his character was that, he's a teenager, no one gets me, no one understands me. But all the adult characters he'd be interacting with, all adults were teenagers at one point, so the adults do understand him, do get him. But he just, teenagers, they're very short-sighted, myopic, self-centered, narcissistic. Stop me if I'm being redundant, but the sketch would always end with the adults being cooler than Doug, and all of Doug's friends would leave Doug to hang out with the adult. This time travel back into teenage life, man. Matthew McConaughey, he'll have you believe that time is a flat circle. But time isn't even a line, it's a ray. It's always going in one direction. And speaking of one direction, if we had a time machine, we could get Zane back, but that's not going to happen. Time goes in one direction. It's always passing by, and that's why we got to maximize time. That's why we'd rather be in the game playing it rather than be stuck in a lobby, because time is precious, man. You spend a third of your day sleeping, a third of your day at work, probably, I don't know, sometimes more, sometimes less, but then the rest of that third, you gotta be doing something you like doing. You gotta be enjoying yourself. You don't want to be wasting your time. Because, yeah, money's important too, but time is more precious. You can always make more money. Making money takes time, though. That's more time you're losing. But Drawn to Death is a good old fun time. It's nice and intimate. I prefer larger player counts. I don't know. I'm just used to Team Fortress 2's 12 on 12. But right now, in this early access, I guess, there's only deathmatch going on. Also not my thing. More of a team deathmatch kind of guy. But yeah, it's still fun. Got a nice pace. Characters have a lot of mobility to them. I'm digging that. Back to, this ultra gritty, grimy, grunge aesthetic, man. That MCR song, teenagers scare the living shit out of me. Being a teenager, man, they all have something to prove, whether it's to themselves or to others, It might manifest itself in weird ways. Like a rainbow party, which, is just a thing that was made up on Oprah. Or 90s kids. I remember Columbine when that dropped. Teenagers have weird stuff going on in them. And as an adult, that teenagers scare me, man. But back to time, man. Time is a cool idea. Time dilation is probably one of my favorite sci-fi concepts, integrating that into a narrative, kind of a Rip Van Winkle sort of thing, but like Gunbuster and Diebuster, time dilation plays a huge part. Interstellar, I was so glad when time dilation happened in Interstellar, man. Just, warm fuzzy feelings of Gunbuster. Relativity, it's such a cool thing, man. The idea that we experience time more slowly, the faster we get, the closer to the speed of light that we get. That's why I think The Flash is super cool. Just all the time travel antics he gets into. Hunter Zolman Zoom, he's not actually a speed, but it's just he's out of sync with time, so he can move. He appears to move faster. He has speed because he has that manipulation of time. And it just ties into the subjectivity of all our experiences, Our experiences are filtered through how we take our physiological form. Our eyesight, or what we take in visually, is influenced by the rods and cones in the back of our eyeballs and how our brain processes that information. How we experience time is tied to the speed at which we're moving. I don't know. I'm not a Scientologist, but if our planet was moving at a different speed around the sun, we'd be experiencing time differently. That's a cool idea, man. I'm really into it. But as I said, I'm not a Scientologist. I can't explain it. I've been winning the matches that I've been playing in Drawn to Death, and an advantage I might have is time. I've been on this earth longer than some of these people I might be playing against. They might not be used to the kind of pace that Drawn to Death flows at, the mobility. They're not used to that because we live in a post-Call of Duty world where everything's slow and kind of iron sightsy. But yeah, I'm really digging the feel of the game. Just that movement speed, the fun weapons. I mean, I've been blowing myself up a lot with this, using As you can see, I've been using a bow and arrow with dynamite on it, and you can charge it up, and yeah, it's always tough learning a new game, you know, trying to learn the intricacies of weapons and all that. Like, if you watched the last episode of the Jocular Spectacular, we played Dual Gear, and I did not pay attention during the tutorials, and did not do well during that mission. If you like what you're seeing with Drawn to Death, check David Jaffe's Twitter out. Yeah, he posted a code so you could download Drawn to Death and play it. So, check it out. It's free, guys. Why not check out a free-to-play game? I'm a little cheesed that Overwatch isn't free, because I definitely would have checked it out, but I'm not paying $40 for an online-only shooter. That's just insane to me in this day and age. But again, speaking of time, I'm just used to things being differently. Back in my day, maps were for the people, by the people. You just downloaded new maps that the community created. Now you're paying $15 for 4 maps, most of them which already came out in previous games, you know? Sorry this episode isn't so jocular. It's very old-timey, meh, those youths. But, you know, the passage of time changes people. I'm not the same person I was 5 years ago, and you're probably not the same person you were 5 years ago, you know? And that's all the time that we have. See you guys next time on the Jocular Spectacular. If you dig what we're doing, if you drill what we're doing, please like, comment, and subscribe, and follow us on Twitter at GameCenterUSX. Peace out, guys.